Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're back joining us on episode 4. So, we thought we would talk about ways to strengthen our immune systems today. We're going to talk about what our immune system does for us, things that we can do to help it, and things that we may be doing that hinder it. The pandemic has changed the world as we know it, and it's obvious that there might be a new normal. And we believe that strengthening our immune systems can be a part of that new normal. So, Mom, let's get into it.
Okay, so both you and I both believe that a healthy immune system is important to fight off disease and viruses. We'll be going into greater depth of the immune system in a later episode. But for today, we just want to give you an idea of what foods and supplements could possibly help strengthen the immune system and also what might weaken the immune system.
Okay, so up first, what exactly does our immune system do for us?
The immune system is a network of cell types working together to defend and protect the body from invaders such as viruses, infections, and disease. This includes white blood cells, antibodies, lymph system, bone marrow, and spleen, to name a few. And the overall function of our immune system is to prevent or limit infection. The immune system can distinguish between normal, healthy cells and unhealthy cells. So cells in our body may be unhealthy because of infection and infectious microbes such as viruses and bacteria, which release signals recognized by the immune system. When the immune system first recognizes these signals, it responds to address the problem. If an immune response cannot be activated when there is sufficient need, problems arise, like infection.
So it's important to have a strong immune system so, it can rise to the occasion when we need it to.
Yeah. Our immune system is constantly doing battle for us. But sometimes the battles are more fierce, and our immune system would love all the help it could get.
Okay, so how can we help it so it doesn't get overwhelmed?
Good question. So let's start out with what supplements and foods bolster the immune system. I'll just list some supplements that can easily be found in a multivitamin or whole foods, meaning whole foods that you eat, not the store whole foods. Again, we are not doctors, so if you plan to start taking a multivitamin, you should check with your doctor to see if it is okay. And I'm going to go through some of the vitamins and minerals that they've been putting out there in the media that are good for you. And we're just going to probably at that same time, we'll just list the foods where you can find them. The first one is vitamin A, which helps our immune cells mature so they can better ingest and kill bacteria. So where do we find vitamin A, Delaney? Well, like lots of fruits and
Oh,
vegetables,
sure.
as well as liver, eggs, and milk. So vitamin A is found in those foods.
Okay.
Vitamin D receptors are found on many of our immune cells and helps our bodies produce antimicrobial proteins that enhance our innate defense mechanisms. So, where can we find some foods that contain vitamin D?
Maybe does Sunny D? No, I'm just kidding. Apparent. Oh, I don't know either.
Vitamin D. Hey, we can.
I have no idea. The sun. Literally, I just think, oh, it's from the sun.
That does the vitamin D. Actually, the sun hits your skin, and then it starts to process in your body to produce vitamin D, which is actually a hormone. So foods that contain vitamin D include fatty fish, egg yolks, beef, liver, and cheese. And of course, you can get it from the sun. I think you need like 20 minutes exposure and with no suntan lotion. So that might be an issue for some people. And dark skinned people have a harder time with that because it's just harder for them to get the sun to do that process. So they need more time.
Okay. And when you're talking about, was it beef, liver, or only beef liver that you can get it from?
It's beef liver, definitely. But if you like chicken livers, that's fine too.
Okay. So it has to be the liver. Gross. Okay.
Well, it's actually, I love liver and onions. It's, animal organs like the liver and kidneys and stuff, they are so nutritious. They provide tons of minerals and vitamins for you and important to get into your diet, actually.
Okay.
So, vitamin E is our next one, and that protects our cells from damage and helps boost our immune response to infections. We can find those in nuts, sunflower seeds, peanuts, avocado, sweet red bell peppers, mango, and fish. They're all great sources. But the examples we give you are not an exhaustive list. These are just examples of what I think people will easily be able to get in the grocery store.
Okay.
So zinc is the next one, and that helps our bodies produce immune cells. Even a mild zinc deficiency may inhibit your body's ability to fight against organisms that cause diarrhea, respiratory tract infections, and skin infections.
Huh.
So good sources of zinc are meat, shellfish, beans, seeds, nuts, sunflower seeds, dairy, lentils, tofu, and eggs.
So the zinc that you get at the store, if you just bought the supplement, there's different types, right? Because there's like the immune one and then there's not. So you do have to read the labels, right?
Well, you can go online and everybody has an opinion and just say, what is the best type of zinc supplement to take? And you'll get that. My thing is, well, number one, I hope everybody's getting the idea that you can get a lot of this from eating whole, healthy foods and not processed foods. So my big thing is when you buy anything that has a label on it, look at the label and try to get the one with the least amount of fillers or junk in them. So they'll have a lot of them have magnesium stearate and silica, and then the capsule, which is either cellulose or gelatin. Some just have the capsule and what's in it. Zinc is always more of it's a hard one for people because for some reason it doesn't come in capsules and it's not all that well coated.
It's not. My mom's mom, my grandmother, as she claims, she almost died taking it because she tried to swallow it and it's the chalky ones and it got stuck in her throat. This is a lady who how long was she a nurse? She was a nurse for a long time, right?
No, not long at all.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Got married and she
freaked out. It was funny.
Well, it was scary for her. Zinc is one of those tablets that is hard to take. And if you take it on an empty stomach, it can easily upset your stomach also.
Yes, take it with food. I've not done that, and I was not a happy camper.
Yeah, even those zinc lozenges they come out with, that can upset your tummy if you haven't eaten. So, but if you take it in a multivitamin, then you don't really have to worry about that. Or if you just eat eggs and whatever we listed here, nuts, beans, things like that. And you can easily go on the internet and say what foods are the highest in zinc, and then pick your favorite, as long as it's not, I don't know, candy. So the next one would be selenium. And it's an essential component of several vital metabolic pathways, the antioxidant defense system, and the functioning of the immune system. So selenium deficiencies are associated with increased risk of viral infections. Foods containing selenium include Brazil nuts, tuna, shellfish, pork, beef, chicken, tofu, shiitake mushrooms, cottage cheese, navy beans, oats, and eggs. That has really gotten attention with the pandemic, and they're starting to say that selenium is wonderful at fighting viruses or helping them. I think it is not reproduce, something like that. It's gotten a lot of notoriety lately.
Wow. I mean, and that's literally, if you're going to have meat with dinner or not, you're kind of set because it's literally shellfish, pork, beef, chicken, tofu. That's like every.
Well, it is, but again, you can go online and find what vegetables may be high in selenium. Might be potatoes, I don't know. I think I can't look right now, but yeah. So this is not an exhaustive list, and people who are vegetarians should look into what non-meat or what vegetarian products that they can.
Well, it's the tofu and the navy beans. Like, that's great.
Yeah. So maybe while I'm talking about vitamin C, you can punch in, foods high in selenium and find some non-meat eater sources, as we say. Vitamin C was really interesting. I know I wasn't feeling well back in March, and I took vitamin C, and it totally turned everything around. So I went looking on the internet, and I found a PubMed abstract from 1999. It was from October 1999, and that's going to be in the show notes. And it's called The Effectiveness of Vitamin C in Preventing and Relieving the Symptoms of Virus-Induced Respiratory Infections. I thought that was really interesting. In the study, the objective was to study the effect of megadose vitamin C in preventing and relieving cold and flu symptoms in a test group compared with a control group. So the subjects were total of 463 students ranging in age from 18 to 32 years made up the control group, and a total of 252 students ranging in age from 18 to 30 made up the experimental or test group. And so the method used, those in the control population who reported symptoms were treated with pain relievers and decongestion. Whereas those in the test population when they reported symptoms, they were treated with hourly doses of 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C for the first 6 hours, and then 3 times daily thereafterward. So those not reporting symptoms in the test group were also administered 1,000 milligrams doses 3 times daily. So the results overall, reported flu and cold symptoms in the test group decreased 85%.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's wonderful. After the administration of megadose vitamin C compared with the control group. So yes, that was amazing. So the conclusion was vitamin C and megadoses administered before or after the appearance of cold and flu symptoms relieved and prevented the symptoms in the test population compared with the control group. So again, we're not doctors, and high doses of vitamin C for some people can cause kidney stones. So you really need to check with your doctor, but I thought that was a very interesting study.
That's very cool. I like it. So I looked up the selenium. Do you want that?
Yes.
This is really exciting. I typed into Google, I typed in foods with selenium, and then literally it auto-filled with like for vegan, and I was like, click. So the first thing that I found on Healthline is 20 foods rich in selenium. Some of them are not vegan, but just to add to our list, lentils, cashews, bananas, baked beans. I feel like those were some things that we hadn't said yet. So that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that is that.
So with all these, we just need to, well, the audience needs to type it in and figure out what foods are best for them.
Right. Yeah. What if you are following some sort of food program, like what fits in with that, that's helping you. That's true. Yeah.
So next we're going to talk about elderberry to address respiratory issues. And that's one of Delaney's favorite because it's very sweet.
Elderberries. Oh my gosh. It also makes me think of A Bug's Life because boysenberries. Boysenberries. Are those on there also?
No, well, berries have a lot of good things in them.
Okay. So these are going to be foods that help us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, this is the elderberry syrup you can get at the health food store. In fact, it was sold out once the pandemic started, but they say that knocks the flu virus out. So in February 2019, researchers from the Franklin Institute for Wellness in Franklin, Tennessee, published an article in the scholarly journal Complementary Therapies in Medicine. They conducted a meta-analysis of previously published randomized controlled clinical trials related to the use of black elderberry in treating upper respiratory symptoms. So while taking into account factors such as overall health, the team reviewed studies that represented 180 participants who were given elderberry, also known as Sambucus, has different from the alcoholic drink that you're thinking of.
No, I know it's not sambuca, but it just sounds cool. Sambucas.
As a supplement in the course of therapy. And they found that those taking the natural substance enjoyed significantly reduced upper respiratory symptoms.
It's cool because I went to the grocery store the other day and I have my zinc with everything that's going on, but I was like, oh, like just in case, let me just peruse the supplements aisle, and zinc, vitamin C, a lot of things we've been talking about were sold out. But the funny thing was the elderberry was like an end cap and it was full. This lady walked past me and she was like looking, and I think I saw her like look for the zinc and didn't see it and huff and move on. And I wanted to be like, hey, like just grab this instead. I don't know why I didn't do that. Probably because people get weird right now if you talk to them because they're like, yes, it was there in stock.
Well, and I would assume that elderberry probably has a lot of vitamin C in it.
Yeah, because it's a fruit, right?
So I don't get the syrup because it is so sweet, but I looked on Amazon the other day and they just have the powder. That's just,
yeah. This was like tablets or something. Yeah.
So nothing is added to it. So I
Mhm.
don't have to worry about fillers or sorbitol or anything else that they may put in it. So again, read your labels, but elderberry syrup is a well-known therapy for respiratory tract infections and the flu.
Well, cool. So, I mean, we talked about supplements and just the specific thing in a fruit or a food that will help your immune system, all the vitamins, etc. But now, can we just talk about foods that will help us if they're added to our diets, like the whole food in general?
Yes, we'll go through that quickly because we just kind of told everybody once we mentioned the supplement where they could find that certain vitamin or mineral. But overall, berries appear to have immune boosting benefits due to their polyphenol content.
And what is polyphenol?
Oh gosh, that's another episode. Again, fruits and vegetables also have lectins, oxalates, histamines, and things like that. So you really have to figure out your best way of eating. And there are so many different ways, but kind of be your own health detective.
Okay.
So, of course, vegetables are great to add to your diet. They contain many vitamin and minerals. And Delaney, what are some of your favorite vegetables?
Ooh, okay. So I love cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I like arugula. I don't know if that counts if lettuce is like a
It's a vegetable.
Okay, I don't, because lettuce just is like feels different from the other veggies.
And it's a bitter. It's bitter, so it's really good for your system, actually.
It's really good. Oh my gosh, it's really good on pizza, which is probably not the place you should be putting it, but it's very good. What else do I like? I just had some jicama. That's a vegetable, right?
It's, yeah, a starchy vegetable.
Yeah.
I think when we're going to talk about that probably at the end, when you have a virus, you don't want to eat anything that is high glycemic
Okay.
because we know sugar feeds bacteria and viruses. So again, with your berries, berries have the least amount of sugar of fruits. So that's, if you need your fruit, that's a good option. And then the vegetables, unless they're really starchy, a lot of them, if they're non-starchy, they don't raise your glycemic index that much. Then we have nuts and seeds, and nuts and seeds help keep your immune system healthy and strong. And they help neutralize free radicals, which is what they say polyphenols do too. So, garlic and onions, of course, I think everybody knows. They're close relatives with similar benefits. They are found in just about every cuisine and culture around the world. They have been used to fight infections for thousands of years, and they are powerful foods that are incredibly anti-inflammatory and beneficial for your immune health. And Delaney, don't you have a story about going to pick up Chinese food the other day?
Actually, so I went to a Thai restaurant and the guy was great. So my friend and I went in to order our pickup and he was like, "Yeah, we've been so busy because, our food, it has garlic and garlic helps you right now." And we were just like, "Yeah, okay." So, but it's true. Like the Thai food that we were ordering does have a lot of garlic in it and it's really good for you.
Yes, garlic and onions are great antimicrobials. They do a lot of good things.
Hmm.
So, ginger has been used for thousands of years in Asia for its natural healing properties. It quickly made its way to Europe and other parts of the world as a natural remedy and flavorful spice. So, research has shown that ginger has powerful antioxidant and anti inflammatory benefits. It may help to decrease inflammation, boost your immune health, improve sore throat, reduce pain, and improve your digestion.
And it's so easy. Like you don't have to buy fresh ginger. I get the ginger tea and I just have those packets ready for if I get a little tickle in my throat, I just drink some of that. And you can mix it with other tea also if you don't like the flavor. I personally really like the flavor of ginger, but it comes in so many formats. It's so easy to use it.
Yes, and the pills help calm your stomach too. I use
That's
that.
true. Yeah, and those you don't taste at all. So you can just take it's just a capsule full of powdered ginger. Boom.
Yes. Again, I think we mentioned this in the whole food episode that adding spices and herbs to your food is a great option because they have so many antimicrobial and other properties that help you with healing and inflammation, etc. So basically, we're just telling you to eat whole foods, fresh and non-processed foods, because they contain the vitamins and minerals you need to strengthen your immune system to keep it fighting for you.
Yay. Okay, so we talked about all the good things, but what are some things that we're probably doing that are not helping our immune system work at its best potential?
Well, it's everybody's number one favorite. And I remember when the pandemic started, and I was talking to your grandmother, and I told her nobody yet is talking about what not to eat, how sugar feeds viruses and bacteria. And then eventually you now do see that, but you don't want to go buy a bunch of junk food and eat junk food during this time because sugar, alcohol, and highly processed foods are not a good idea at this time. On one hand, your body needs all the energy it can get to fight off illness, but it's important to give your body the right kind of energy. Calories are not equal. So, We want to fuel the body with the right energy source to help fight infection.
So you're saying that my friend virtual flip cup that we did the other weekend was probably not the greatest idea?
I'm not going to take, I assume that's with alcohol, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's a drinking game.
Well, and that was one of the stores that was essential and stayed open, which I wish my infrared sauna was considered essential and
Oh,
stayed open.
that's wild because there's other states that have like liquor stores are non-essential and they closed them.
Oh no, not
Mine's open.
yeah, not in this state. They've remained open and they said they've seen surges in sales.
Yeah.
Everybody's closeness must be getting to them. So, while alcohol can raise your blood sugar, processed food obviously raises your blood sugar and sugar. So, you want to kind of minimize those foods and beverages. So, during these times of uncertainty, this is not the time to be eating all of that. And sugar is particularly damaging to your immune system, which needs to be ramped up to combat emerging infection. We will do an episode on sugar explaining how it causes inflammation in the body and feeds bacteria and viruses. But until then, try your best to stay away from it and anything that quickly breaks down to sugar. Your immune system will thank you.
Yeah, and I know for me, like, because we've talked about our thoughts and everything in the episode before this, actually, if anyone wants to go back and listen. But I have had a lot of stress colds, and I know it's been related to stress because I've been stressed out, and then I started eating a lot of sugary foods, and that gives me a head cold. It's wild, and it clears up within days because I go cold turkey and I only eat whole foods and it just wipes it out. And it's wild how sugar just feeds that. It doesn't help your immune system.
Oh, yeah. It's night and day how you feel when you eat whole healthy foods. But getting to that point, again, these are other episodes when you have to deal with candida and parasites and things like if we've been eating horribly for a long time, it's baby steps.
Oh yeah. This is like me now because like the sugary stuff I'm not as bad as I used to be about it. So it's when I go cold turkey, it's not as extreme as it could be for other people, I guess.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yes, it is.
And I think I was telling someone the other day, the cleaner your diet is, the faster your body reacts when you do something that it doesn't like.
Mhm.
The reason is because you're getting rid of all that inflammation. So it's quickly talking to you. When you eat a bunch of junk and you've just gone to McDonald's every day, your body is inflamed. And so you don't notice it as much when you continue to eat that. But when you clean up your diet and the inflammation starts receding, then yes, you will recognize it much sooner. And a lot of times you'll get a headache or stomach ache or something quickly, and your body's saying, no, 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 no. And I tell people that symptoms are just a way for your body to tell you to do something different.
So I am gluten free. It's by choice, but it's also just my body doesn't like gluten right now for whatever reason. And I can walk down the bread aisle at the grocery store and get a headache. That's how I've cleaned, like, as I haven't eaten it for years and years and years. So just walking through the bread aisle gives me a headache, just the smell of it. My body's like, oh no.
Well, you also went to a biological dentist who did muscle testing and they had the vial for gluten, and I could see your body shaking by the time it got to you, by the time you put it on.
Yeah, like on its way to me. It didn't even touch me. And my body's like, no, it's coming.
And nobody even knew what it was. I looked and then we looked, it was wheat. So you're very, very sensitive to that.
Yes. Before we end, wow, we're already at the end. Okay. This has been a really fascinating topic. But before we leave or head out, can you tell us, is there anything else that can help us build up our immune system?
Yeah. There's a quote from the French physician Claude Bernard from the 1800s. He declared that the terrain is everything, the microbe is nothing, meaning that how healthy we are in mind and body is more important than what comes against us. So what else can we do? And we have talked about that on a few episodes about how important your thoughts are. And I would say that one of the most important things we can do for ourselves and our family is to work on getting our stress levels down. And I think we talked about that in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
When we are stressed, our body releases cortisol, which puts us into flight or fight mode and suppresses the immune system. So when you are in a perceived threat, your body has short-term priorities to keep you alive. And the immune system can wait. That's what your body's thinking. Well, we can just deal with that later. We just need to get you out of danger. So, and when we shouldn't be stressed, we shouldn't be in stressed mode all the time. This result is a weakened immunity, which can lead to health problems. So that's why we're going to discuss some ways to de-stress during the stressful time. And in a minute, I'm going to have Dalaney. You can tell me what you do to de-stress during this time of lockdown. What I want to stress about the parasympathetic nervous system is that way back when we had big things coming after us, danger. So when that happened, or if you think of an animal, okay, think of an animal, a zebra, and then a lion comes around and wants to eat the zebra. So they're going to sense this and they're all going to run, and that's their nervous system working for them. And it's fight or flight, and they've turned that on and they are gone and they run. But what do they do after that lion is no longer a threat? They start eating grass again. They're like, okay, this is chill, I'm no longer a threat, and they calm down. We don't do that. As a society, a lot of times when we get cut off in traffic, and let's say we have to swerve or whatever, we go to where we're going. We get out, we see the people we see, and what do we say? I was almost killed. This person cut me off. And I mean, all we do is talk about that for the next 5-10 minutes. And then someone else will bring, oh yeah, I was almost cut off and the traffic's crazy. And we feed on that. And that's releasing the cortisol, which is then muting our immune system because it still thinks we're in fight or flight instead of just chilling. And again, we talked about that on the last episode, how to deal with that, to let it go and then move on. Because if you're constantly thinking, and I know some people who do this, they grab the steering wheel and they get on the freeway and they act like, they're in the Indianapolis 500 and they've got to do maneuvers because they think that, they're going to be put against the wall, and they're not. They just, every car they pass, they think is going to come over and hit them. We have to learn to relax and to de-stress. And that's important because we don't want our nervous system thinking that everything is a possible threat. So in the last episode, we did talk about all the health issues that we get from that. Yep. So Dalaney, how do you de-stress during this time?
So, I mean, I have been lucky because I do have my fiance and my friend living with me. So, but even if you don't, some things that we've done indoor bowling, which we've set up the empty vitamin bottles that we have laying around, and we've done bowling. That's been fun. We've also, so if you're not near people right now, you can, Zoom is great. Zoom can be free. But again, I've done the flip cup, the virtual flip cup has been, but maybe just, I did it with water one week actually. So you can do flip cup with water, but just getting that connection with people. There are online games that you can play. So if you share your screen, people can see it and play. We've gone on walks, you can still go on a walk. You do have to stay away from other people, but you can still go out and about. I have friends who have dogs, so we actually met them at a park. They stayed away from us, but they let their dogs come over to us, and that was fantastic because I'm such an animal person, and like animals totally de-stress me. So that's been great. We started this hobby. We started podcasting, so that's, this is a great time to find a hobby as well. At least where I'm living, the home improvement stores are still open. So been doing some DIY projects as well. Yeah, it's been good so far. I mean, it'll probably get old eventually, but just finding new things to entertain your mind and help you not stress as much. I have friends who just like have caught up on all of their reading that they've wanted to do for a long time.
Yes, I like that. I'm on my third book. I'll be on my third book. I thrilled that I have time to read.
Yeah, you see all the stuff online, like introverts are loving it right now because they don't feel forced to go out and interact with people. But if you're an extrovert, use those online videos, chat things to just keep connecting with your friends. I see so many posts about people take pictures of it and how they're just still kind of hanging out with their friends from a distance, and that can be so helpful to stop your nervous system from acting up so your immune system can keep you safe right now.
Yeah, and staying on schedule. I mean, still getting dressed during the day and having somewhat of a schedule. I know sometimes it's hard, especially the people who aren't working, but to somehow maintain a schedule is always good. And then, you can finish the projects. I know my basement is really clean right now. So, and organized. Journaling is great too, especially during this time. I think that would be a fantastic idea because we'll be able to look back on that and you'll be able to show your kids or grandkids back when this was going on. So I think journaling is important.
It is actually my college sent out a thing and they're like, hey, like send in journal entries, videos, pictures of you during this time because they're making like a time capsule of it. So that's pretty cool that you brought that up. A lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, so there are ways and always breathing. I'm really big into the breathing techniques and it's especially alternate nostril breathing. So people look that up. You breathe in one nostril, you breathe out, and then you breathe in, and then you change and you breathe out. And then again, you breathe in and then you change, you breathe out. That will relax. That flips the nervous system to go into parasympathetic and it just relaxes you. I do that every night before I go to bed and just fall asleep just like a baby. I mean, it's wonderful.
That's awesome.
To relax you, yeah, and to de-stress your body. And if we are stressed and we just take ourselves out of the situation and go to a different room and do that, you'll find that you're less stressed and maybe be able to tackle whatever is stressing you out. I do know a patient came in the office the other day and was very upset because she's not able to work and she's been munching and so she's been eating everything in sight. And it's hard not to because you do get bored. And so then I started hearing the term on the social media. What is it? What do they call it? The lockdown 15 or 15.
The lockdown 15. Ah, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. It's quarantine 15.
Quarantine 15. Well, okay. So I have another way. So go on Facebook and just look for your local YMCA. Like if you, or I guess Google it first, but if you just type them in, at least ones that I know, they're all putting up free videos because guess what? No one's coming in to take classes with them right now, like any of the exercise classes. So they're putting it out there for free. My work is doing it for free. I'm doing free yoga through work right now because normally you'd have to pay for this stuff, but they just want to be able to keep working. So they're just putting it on YouTube for free. So just Google it. It's everywhere. So you can avoid the quarantine 15 and I'm learning new stuff. I'm doing all these fun new exercises. I think today my friend and I are going to try kickboxing, which I've never done.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. So check it out. It's fun. You can do, yeah. Or what do we do? We did Tabata. Never heard of it in my life. Super fun. It's really great if you have a short attention span because I don't like to do stuff that you like sit here and hold it for 2 minutes. And I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. But Tabata is so fast. It's like 30 seconds of this, 30 seconds of that, blah, 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 blah. So, and you get a really good workout.
Oh, that is cool. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
You have to put that in the show notes.
Yes. Yep. Try to find there's some cool YouTube videos on that. So that's all she wrote, right?
I think so.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabout.health@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabout.health.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule, and you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.